Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda. This is ABP, and we are doing a 15-minute everyday stretch routine today. So I designed this 15 minutes to be something that you can repeat as many times throughout the week as you would like. You can start your day with this stretch. You can end your day with it. You can do this after a workout as a great cool down, but know that this is going to hit the whole body and really be something that you can do as many times a week as you want. So we're going to start standing, and you're going to have your feet hip distance parallel, just moving through the spine. Take a breath in as you stand up nice and tall. And on your exhale, chin to chest, you're going to roll your spine down towards the mat in front of you. You can bend your knees a little bit if you need. You don't have to think about it too much here. Just try to make it feel good, and then roll the spine back up. Just making sure your head is the last thing to lift at the top. Inhale. Take it again, chin to chest, roll the spine down. Knees can bend a little bit, legs could stay straight. You could even kind of sway your hips side to side if that feels nice. And then roll it back up. Stacking the spine up. Big breath in. Take it one more time. Chin to chest, round it down. Bend your knees and then come down to hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a breath in first. Exhale to drop the head round the spine, finding your cat stretch. And then inhale to arch the back. Lift your head, lift your chest. Coordinate the movement with your breath. Whenever you're doing any kind of stretching, you really want to focus on your breath. Those big, long exhales are what will help you release the body, release the muscles, and really lengthen in those stretches as much as possible. Inhale to arch. Take it a few more times. If one position feels better for you, I'm going to stay here in my cat stretch and just kind of wiggle my hips side to side because my low back is feeling a little bit tight. You can always stay in one position for a little bit longer. And finding your flat back, take your knees nice and wide and sit your hips back towards your heels, just taking a child's pose. Hands are going to walk forward. You're going to press into your hands, trying to get your butt towards your heels as close as possible. And then take one hand, take both hands, not one hand, over to the right side of the mat. And then take that left hand, reach it farther past your right to try to really open up the left side of the back. I'm feeling a stretch under my shoulder blade. I'm feeling it through my low back. And then walk the hands to the opposite side, left side. Right hand's gonna reach a little farther past. Feel that opening under the right armpit, through your lats, through your right lower back. And then find center and bring it up onto your knees once again. So step your right foot forward in front of you, and you're going to make two 90-degree angles here with your legs. You're going to take your pelvis, tuck it underneath you first. So try to make this position kind of as awkward looking as possible. Really tuck. Squeeze your left butt cheek tight, and then lift your left arm up overhead. From here, you should feel a nice stretch through the front of that left hip. If you're not getting that, squeeze your butt tighter, tuck more, push your hips forward maybe 1 inch. And then adding a little side bend, we're going to lift up and over to the right. So we're getting a really deep stretch here through our hip flexor, through our psoas. If you have back tightness, this is a really great stretch to do because a lot of that tightness can actually come from the front of the body and the hips. We're going to bring the body back upright and then lower the arm down. Start to send your hips backwards in space, sticking your butt out. I'm going to inch my right foot forward and maybe not extend that right leg fully straight yet, but flex my foot and focus on sticking my butt out. Now, the stretch should be behind that right leg in the hamstring. If you're pretty limber, you might be able to lengthen your right leg fully. Just pay attention to your back. I'm really trying, and my back might not be fully flat, but I'm really trying to stick my butt out as much as I can to lengthen out through my lower back. And when I do that, I feel a really intense stretch here, and I do not feel the need to extend my leg fully. You can play around with pointing the foot, flexing the foot, whatever gives you the best stretch here. And then we're gonna bend that knee and we'll bring it back underneath us. So right leg is down, left foot's gonna step forward, getting into the hip flexor. We're gonna take our pelvis and tuck it under. Try to make that a little more awkward. Squeeze your right butt cheek. If you're not feeling it, I'm really feeling it already, but I'm pretty tight through the front of the hips. You're gonna push your hips forward just a little. Take the right arm up overhead. Take a little side bend over to the left. Really continuing to open up through the front of that hip. Squeeze the right glutes. Contracting those right glutes is really going to help open up the hip flexor, the psoas here. And then we're going to lower the arm down. You're going to send the hips back, shimmy your left foot forward. And as you stick your butt out, start to flex that left foot. My knee is going to bend just a little bit. And then I'm going to focus on pulling my left hip backwards in space and thinking about my left leg really plugging back into my hip. Tailbone reaches out. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. Hold for one more big breath in. Big exhale. And then bend that knee, and you can bring the leg back underneath you. And now you'll come all the way down to the stomach to get a little more back chest opening happening. So we're gonna take our hands pretty wide, and my head is pretty close to the front of my mat, but my hands are also gonna be right about in line with the front of the mat. Elbows are wide, hands are like 4 inches from the mat on either side. Feet are hip distance, push into the hands. Just pick your head up, lift your chest. Focus on opening up through the upper back, and then lower all the way back down, reaching forward. Lift the head, lift the chest, pull your shoulders down. Abs are hugging in just to support your back, and then lower back down. So every time we lift up, we're gonna think about lifting up maybe a little bit higher, or lifting up to a point where you feel a really nice stretch happening, a nice chest opening, but that it's not painful in the back. We'll do this twice more. Lifting up should feel good, and lowering back down. And one more time, lifting up. I'm gonna add a nice little neck stretch in here. So stay hugging in with your abs. Turn your head to the right, then circle your chin to your chest down, and then around to the left. And then you're gonna take your focus straight forward. Let's reverse that. Left first, chin to chest, circle it down, and around to the right. Straight forward, lower all the way down. All right, give those hips a little wiggle side to side. We're gonna stay on our stomachs for our quad stretch. So you're gonna reach back with your right ankle, or with your right hand, grab your right ankle, and then try to hug your knees in towards one another so that they're almost touching. You can let your forehead rest onto your left hand. If that's comfortable, you could turn your head towards one side, but focus on, we're stretching our quad, so you should feel this through the front of the leg. Focus on tucking your pelvis, pushing your pubic bone down, and then starting to contract the muscle by pushing your foot against your hand at the same time. Big, deep inhale. Big, deep exhale. Hold Hold it for one more breath. And then you can release that side. Wiggle your hips out. If this is not super comfortable laying on your stomach like this, you could always do this one standing as well. Or you could put like a pillow or cushion underneath your hips, and that will help lengthen out your back. So knee to knee, push that foot into the hand, tuck the pelvis, and really feel that opening through the front of the leg. Take a big breath in and take a bigger exhale. We'll hold for one more breath here. And then you can release. Take the hands under the shoulders, push back. Take a child's pose here first. After being on the stomach, always good to reverse the curve in the back. And then we're going to flip over onto our back to get into our glutes. So knees will be bent, feet flat as you lay down onto your back. You're going to take your right ankle, cross it over your left knee, flex your foot, and then lift the legs, hooking the hands underneath that left thigh. Pull in with that knee against that right ankle, but also use your hands, your arms, to really hold and pull in as well. If the stretch feels good, stay there. If you want a little more intensity, try shifting your legs to the left, like 1 to 2 inches, really, really small, and you should feel that stretch get a little deeper, really through the outer seat muscles, through the outer hip, into the glutes. Continue to breathe, big, deep inhalations and really long exhalations. Now we're going to keep that right foot crossed. You're going to grab hold of the right ankle with your left hand. You're going to let the left leg just drop and extend down to the floor. And now think about pulling right foot towards left outer thigh. Now you should feel this stretch travel up maybe a little higher along your glutes. You might feel the front of the hip stretching here, but we're really trying to keep both hips planted as we pull that right foot across. And just continue to breathe. And then uncross, and we will do the other side. So right knee bent, left ankle over right knee, flex your left foot, hook your hands underneath the right thigh, pull in, tailbone rolls down. If the stretch feels good here, you can hold. If you want a little more intensity, you shift to the right, just about an inch or two. It can be really small. And then we'll keep holding that left ankle with the right hand. You're going to drop that right leg, lengthen it out, and then cross that left foot over to the right outer thigh. Again, you'll feel the stretch travel maybe a little more outer and a little more upper, right at the top of the glutes, into the front of the hip a little as well. And just hold. You can play around with your knee position. Shifting it away from you is going to make the stretch feel different. Shifting it towards you will make the stretch feel different. So find whatever position's best for you. And then you can release that. Hug your knees in towards your chest and just kind of roll your spine around. You can draw little circles there with the legs. You can reverse. Just getting that lower back to release a little bit more. You can stay on your back if you want. close your eyes, take a few more breaths. You can rock yourself up to seated if you are ready. But you are done with your stretch. If you're looking for anything else on the app, I've got it. Lots of body-specific workouts. You know the drill. You can find me on Instagram at Amanda Blauer Pilates if you have any questions at all. And like I said, incorporate this stretch into your week as many times as you want. It's really a great full body stretch that will keep your body balanced. So feel good. See you next time.